Vinny backstage, Vincenzo. He's a large Mike on Twitter, somebody that I've bantered back and forth with on Twitter. So it does look like we are going on YouTube. I love being producer, writers, everything on this show. But we have a good show for you tonight. It's going to be, and I see Brad's back there, so it's going to be we should have called it the lefties are in charge. The lefties got out of the loony bin. That's what we should have called the show, because it's going to be Brad and Vinny and Jesse Brown, and they all lean to the left. I will say that. And then we have Lucy. She's our libertarian. I don't even know if she's like right or left or center or whatever, but anyway, she's going to be coming on. She's a little bit late tonight, but we got a new panelist here sitting in for Tiffanie, because Vinny's going to be sitting in for Tiffanie. And then we got our usual Brad. So Brad's probably going, man, I'll feel sad because Tiffany's not going to be here to make fun of me. But I'm sure I'll come up with something to make fun of Brad with. But, hey, it's been an interesting couple of weeks down here in Florida. I see that anybody that's up in India, I think it got really warm today, almost up to 24. I felt guilty. I really did. I felt guilty today, but not that bad. So we're still live from down here. And as you can see, I got my green screen up back there, and we're just making it happen all the way down here from Florida. Technology is great. Can do the witty review shows. And then we have Brad's show on 7:30 on Sunday night. He did show number 2. I'm going to go ahead and bring Brad on here real quick, and we're going to talk about it. Hey, Brad, what's happening? I can't hear you. You're muted.
How about now?
There you go. There you go. Wow, you think since you're producing your own show, that's harder than it looks, isn't it?
Oh, I mean, logging in without like any kind of music, I'm like, all right, I guess we started now. Listening to myself talk for any amount of time, I'm like, Witty was on, and it was funny because I'm like, all right, well, we're just gonna start talking. I don't want to do a monologue or anything. I'm just like, let's start this stuff.
It's a learning curve, that's for sure. But I'll help you anytime. So, folks, I'm going to say Brad is doing this stuff himself. He's like paving
it's
his
a fun
own
time. Yeah.
That's part of the journey. Is really the most fun of it. It was once you get to be experts like we are here on the Mouthwash show.
Yeah. No, and a lot of it is like I like to talk to people that disagree with me on different things. I really feel like that's one of the only ways that we can kind of grow.
Look, Witty even got a comment there for you. Good show, Brad.
So, see, it's
the little feller likes
just
you.
The friendships and stuff. It's a great time. He was the first one, and then I had Bilberry on this last Sunday, and we just talked. I mean, there were things that in the first show that I was like, oh yeah, we were talking about that, and then we got sidetracked and we didn't finish the thought. And I was like, I'm going to talk about that in the second show. And then me and Bilberry were talking about Minneapolis and stuff too, and the same thing happened. It was like we both had different, different thoughts and stuff that our ADD brains just kept going to different avenues.
I clicked in, and you went for a while, didn't you? I thought I clicked in on 9.
If you're still that one. Well, because the first episode I tried to time it in between the first and the second football games on Sunday night, and that one worked out really well, and it was like a good 45-minute block. But with Bilberry, I think. And the Bears were playing, and I couldn't. That was a wild game. That was a hard game to watch, and they're a hard team to watch because like they just
they should have won that. They should have lost. They should have won it.
They raised the blood pressure a lot. Like I feel like all Bears fans need to go through some sort of like yoga right now, just to like work on our breathing and blood pressure skills a little bit.
That would fix it, huh? I think they need to move to Indiana. Hammond is the place you want to be.
I've been saying that for a long time. Like anytime you take the toll road on like I-90, like up in Gary, like there's a lot of real estate that can be redeveloped.
Well, it's all polluted from all the industrial crap.
Well,
all that.
But there's going to be a lot of like urine from the porta potties and stuff, and like probably too. So
That'll even it out, right? That'll
Yeah.
balance it. Well,
You know,
I guess they have three stadium designs already that are out there.
Good.
It's like, I thought it was a joke, but now I think it's like,
No, and New York is really the reason I think that everyone thinks it's possible is because the Jets
there's no
and the
New York
Giants.
teams there. In
Well,
Jersey.
no, yeah, they play in New Jersey. Like when I flew in, I got to see that stadium. Yeah, and it's way out.
It's yeah. Well, we'll see what happens anyway. But hey, so I'm going to bring on. We're trying to get Jesse on. I don't see him backstage.
Well,
here.
but wait a second. You actually agreed to have like 3 liberal-minded folks.
I know. Hey, I'm
tonight.
trying to be.
I'm
trying to be open-minded and
I'm just saying, like,
inclusive.
I feel victorious. Like, hey, all right, we're outnumbering.
Yeah, well, you still got to deal with Lucy, but you're lucky she's getting a little late tonight because she won't be to her studio until about 9:20 or so. So that's why we're sort of filling some stuff in here. So I'm going to go ahead and play a clip, and this is a clip of the IU president, and it was I think Pat McAfee was asking her, "How did you know that Cignetti was going to be so good? How did we?" You know, like Milton the monster, you know, when the stirring's done, I want to he's trying to find out how she did that. So I'm going to go ahead and play it here. Let me get it up. Let me see if I can go here. What's up? Share screen. You have it. I'll teach you how to do this someday, Brad. How to share the screen. It's so
okay, because I can't do that. Like whenever it plays without volume, like every time that I tried it.
Yeah,
so
well,
I just start reading.
Grasshopper, I'll teach you, Grasshopper. Just snatch the pebble from my hand. So you got to. So here, let's see what I can get going on here. After I said that.
Oh, and also I didn't go bowling because I had the flu that day.
Your family. The reason why they love basketball so much is because Bob Knight. Cignetti is like Bob Knight. He's an older coach, accountability, discipline. He's not throwing a chair. Okay, he'll have one beer. Who's your beer? Hope you shared that one with him. But it feels like he was the perfect hire for your university and your fan base. Did you know that when you made the hire that he would be such a big hit with the fans? And why exactly was Sig the right guy for what you wanted to do?
Well, you got to rewind it. So this actually started 5 years ago when I came to Indiana and met with our amazing athletic director. Props to Scott Dolson, best athletic director in the United States, and sat down and said, hey, Scott, college football is about 85% of revenue in college sports. I think my exact words were, we can't treat it like an intramural sport anymore. You know, let's get serious about it. I really unleashed the beast with Scott when that happened. So we took a couple of years and we got ready. We built the infrastructure. We hired the right staff. We moved to contemporary jobs you need to do in college sports. We raised the funds that we needed. And then we were ready to bring in the right coach to be successful. And we got the best coach in the country. And you betcha we knew he was going to be good. We were watching.
And the fans, they love this guy.
Yeah. So there you go. I'm going to go ahead and bring up. So, okay, him. Sorry about that. All right, let's see. Back to what we got here. Oh, we don't want that. We do not want that.
Am I in?
Yeah, you're in. You're on here. Okay.
All right.
Yeah, see,
How we
Brad,
doing?
A producer's great because you don't have to worry about the buttons. They do it, but I got ADHD. I can sort of do it, but you can see it's a little challenging sometimes. But so I wanted to show that because this is our a panel set in for basically I would say a left. You're definitely a Democrat. Am I right there? A Democrat?
I would not. No, I've never voted for a Democrat for president.
Okay. So what are you, independent or?
No, I mean, I'd consider myself a socialist. So I'm much more like Jesse than I'd say. I tend to rag on the Democrats more than anything.
Okay.
So.
Well,
They're an easy target.
That's how we sort of met. That's how we met on X. It's like I met Brad at the Hamilton East County Library when he was up there giving Micah and Tiffanie a hard time on the library board, and he got up and he answered. He was asking, the mob's going crazy back there. We had Cass Jack, we had all these crazy people in there. Brad gets up there calmly to the mic and asks some good questions. I was like, man, that guy, he's based on this stuff. So I started talking to him, and sure enough, he comes on the show, and he's 2 years ago. Now Brad's got his own show.
And it's all about just being polite. I feel like
Mm.
just saying please and thank you, and remembering everybody as a person that they're going to go home. You're going to go home. Hopefully, that we all have to live in the same spot.
Yep. So do you want me to call you a Large Mike, Vincenzo, Vinny, Mr. How you say your last name?
Last name's Palazeti. Good luck with that.
Palazeti. Yeah, I got it right. That's crazy.
Yeah.
I call you Mr. Palazeti. So tell our audience that you're a first time panelist here. Tell our audience a little bit about yourself and how the heck did you get on this show?
Yeah, how did I end up here? Good question. So a little bit about me. I'm an Indianapolis based, live right in Holy Cross, just east of downtown. Originally what brought me to Indiana from Michigan was I played football at Ball State 2013 to 2017. Went away to Chicago for a little bit, came back here. Been living on either Mass Ave, now Holy Cross, for about 5 years in total now. And just, I'm a neighborhood guy. I chop it up with neighborhood people, and met Jesse, been involved in politics a little bit more, helping him out with certain stuff. And I yap a lot on Twitter, so that helps too.
Yeah. Well, like I said, you were one of the people I could actually make a comment to, and you will give me the grief back. And it's been, that's how I met you. And then I saw you at Jesse Brown's birthday party. That's the first time we really met. And now you got to admit, it's harder now to give me a hard time since you met me, or is it easier? Maybe I'm wrong.
Hey, I'm just having fun online, no matter what I'm doing, whether it's whoever it is, Democrat, Republican, doesn't matter. I'm trying to have a good time. So sometimes that means, poking a little fun.
Yeah, you got to get like that.
Yeah, but Twitter is like a hellhole though. Like that's a whole different
everything.
I was on Instagram, or if you're on Instagram or like Facebook and stuff like that is nothing compared to just the vitriol that you get to experience.
Yeah, it's a pigsty, but I love rolling around in the mud.
No, it is amazingly fun.
It's like the famous Trump quote about Diet Coke or Coca-Cola. Is like I'll keep drinking that garbage. I just
that Diet Coke,
it's hard to stop, man.
It's like cancer in a can. Yeah, but it doesn't seem to slow him down.
Nope.
So we just still don't have our guests. So
I don't know. Wait, did you guys watch his press conference today though?
No, just don't watch it, Brad.
What do you mean don't watch it? I have Trump derangement syndrome. I actually watch the guy when he's on TV and giving
today.
Today was his year in review that he gave to the press room, and it was within like 2 seconds he was going into like who the criminals in Minneapolis were that they're going after, and he's like holding them up, and you could hear like a pin drop in the press room. Like it was nobody knew what to expect, but he spoke for about like over an hour.
Wow.
Just about touting his accomplishments. He brought out all of them. It was quite a sight.
He's an energetic guy.
That's
one thing.
But that's it. It was pretty low. It was pretty low energy. It was very like, well, all right, I did this, and then I didn't get the Nobel Peace Prize, but I'm going to create the border.
He ended up getting it.
Yeah.
And John, that was a good call.
They're transferable now.
I think you predicted that last week. And
I know,
and I told you no. I was vehement. I was like, no, there's no way that he's gonna accept it. There's no way that she's gonna offer it. And sure as shit, but my whole thing is that I think I never saw her go in with the frame. I really think she just brought the metal, and he did that whole get up, like the whole frame, the gold, like, because it already looks like it. It looks like something the White House would put up immediately.
Man, that guy loves gold. I mean, years ago he had a golden toilet. So, I mean,
he talked about that today. He talked about that today. Was one of the accomplishments was making the Oval Office look the best that it's ever looked.
Well, it's
same
it's
thing
shiny,
with the East Wing.
that's for sure.
It's shiny. That's a good one.
That ballroom, just waiting.
Brad, you mentioned a good point here. So I got another clip for you. This is about the protesters that stormed the church oh my gosh, the blasphemy, the heresy, it's terrible, it's whatever. So I found a clip here. Let me get
Why
to
are you
it.
gonna storm a church?
I don't know. Will you
Like-
save your comments? Say and by the way,
I just wanted
Vinny-
to get that comment out of the way. Like that's
yeah,
you
you're,
just don't
while
do
the
it.
clip's playing, your mic is live. You can go ahead and throw in a comment, whatever, but just make sure you know that. Most of the time, the clips, our mics aren't live, but you'll be live. And I'll probably leave this up on the side this time. That's just sort of how it sends it up. So let's get, yeah, this is so much fun. Let's see. There it is.
Well, after disrupting a church service, Minneapolis remains on high alert since a Justice Department official says ICE protests may have broken federal law. Maggie Vespa joins us with the latest.
Hey there, we are seeing a massive and now nationwide show of solidarity with Minneapolis, with protesters yesterday taking to the streets in multiple cities, including New York, Philadelphia, Chicago, Atlanta, marking Martin Luther King Day with those demonstrations. Meanwhile, back here in Minnesota, Sunday's protest at a St. Paul church under an intensifying spotlight, with demonstrators claiming that a pastor at City's church runs local ICE operations. Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche arguing protesters broke federal law, that they intimidated or impeded people from worshiping in a church, and saying that the DOJ is vowing to investigate that demonstration. I spoke to a civil rights attorney from here in the Minneapolis area. She was one of the protesters, and she says federal authorities have not contacted her about an investigation. Her name is Nakima Levy Armstrong, and she told me, quote, they need to be investigating Jonathan Ross for the killing of—
Oh, yeah, that was that guy right there. That wasn't the ICE guys.
Who shot and
I mean,
killed a woman, Renee
protesters,
Good,
yeah.
almost 2 weeks ago here in Minneapolis. With
Okay,
protests
okay.
still raging here, President Trump, of course, considering sending in active duty troops to quell unrest. And
The libs are going crazy on Blue Sky. Have you been over there at all? Have you seen Will Stansel? They're like chasing him around. It's like it looks like
Will Stansel.
You don't know Will Pencil? Sorry, Will Stansel. He was I guess are you on Twitter?
Yeah.
Okay, so Will Stansel.
I didn't want to do Blue Sky because I thought it was a cop out.
Yeah, it's lame. So Will Stansel is a very prolific kind of, I guess you'd call him a lib for sure. He made his name at least posting when he was going back when Biden was the president, and he was going anti like left wing, like punching left, on like the vibe session stuff. So it's like, are we in a recession? Are we not? That was that whole Biden kind of controversy, but he's obviously like a lib, and he's like kind of a hardcore lib. So he's vehemently anti-Trump, and he's on Blue Sky now, and he's part of the brigades that are like chasing around these ICE agents in cars, right? They're like videoing, walking around like behind cars and like basically honking the entire time. I mean, it's wild. It's like literally watching like cops, but it's not
real
cops.
life.
It's like libs chasing down the ICE agents.
Sort of real life, but
yeah. It's like
just
found footage type stuff.
It's interesting, and I think that it's sort of like the Disney film Jungle Book, and this is way before you two's time. You're all, Vinny, how old are you? You're about 30.
I'm the big 3-0 this year.
Yeah, and Brad's about 40. So
42.
and I'm old. I actually remember when IU 76 basketball team went undefeated. So I was.
You got both of them, John. That's good.
Yeah, I know it.
Yeah, that's
like, hey, I didn't get this gray hair from being smart. It's just, if you don't, so the movie Jungle Book, there's a scene in there where the Brer Rabbit and the fox and Brer Rabbit, and Brer Rabbit's the rabbit, and the fox is trying to catch him. So he builds this tar baby so that to catch, which is a little bit racist because back in the 50s and 60s, you could do it. Well, I'll tell you, it's like it was basically a figure made out of tar.
Oh, okay.
And so that was a racial slur, tar baby. Yeah.
Oh.
So the Brer Rabbit, being the proper Southern guy, rabbit that he is, if you don't speak to him, That's an insult. That's rude if you don't speak to him. So he goes by the tar baby that's sitting there. It's obviously not alive, but he says, good morning. And the tar baby doesn't say anything. He's good morning. He finally gets mad enough and he punches the tar baby in the mouth, gets stuck, and then the fox catches him. That's how the fox catches the Brer Rabbit. Well, of course, the Brer Rabbit, being slick that he is, talks the fox into, hey, whatever you do, do not throw me in the briar patch. I mean, do not do that. But that's where he wants to go. So finally, the fox says, I'm going to get you so bad, I'll throw you in the briar patch. But anyway, go back and watch it yourself. That's my very quick rendition. But there's a point here. There's a point.
All right.
Where's the point? So my point is, if people don't listen to you, you keep ratcheting up your I want to be listened to. So this is where I think we're at this stage of things. It's like, okay, I'm not getting any results. I'm seeing more ICE agents, not less. So we're going to ramp this thing up until it gets,
they're getting paid more, right?
Is that what it is? I've not been offered a pay.
They're being the paid agitators that the president is talking about. That he said that the wife of the woman who was shot, the way that she yelled shame, made it sound like she was a paid agitator because it was like it reminded him of an opera singer. That she wasn't actually in pain in the heart. Like, he actually says this shit. That's why I want everybody to actually watch what he says and not just like, oh, well, the lib media will say he said that. And it's like, yeah, he sounds like a dumbass when he speaks for like an hour. And
I got a question for you. I got a question for you. Do you think that we have to have raw meat on both sides? That, we have to put something out there for our people. I mean, it is the point where it's not a love or hate thing.
When are we united again? Like that.
It ain't happening.
But I feel like
I think any sort of the post-war consensus is totally over. And I think, weirdly enough, and as uncomfortable as it might be, this is more what democracy looks like than what the 1950s or 60s were. And definitely, obviously, as you get into the 60s, probably more the 40s and 50s. Like, it's messy and people hate each other, right? And that's just how it is. I think it's going to be like that forever. And I think it was more so abnormal that like we had this basically straight up consensus for 30 plus years until it broke down. And I think totally obvious. I don't think it's going to go back to that.
Like mend itself. You know what I mean?
You might be able to put a bow on this when Trump goes away and send it down the river. But I think that it's just going to still stick around.
No, I think Trumpism is here to stay. Like the way, MAGA, that kind of like his movement. I think at least as like the moral majority was for so many years, so many decades after it was, originally founded. I think it'll be here for a while at the very least.
Yeah, I think there's, like everything, there's good things and bad things and everything. I mean, and I know I argue with you and Jesse on Twitter. And by the way, his wife's I probably can't even say it. He's got a personal message that has sort of slowed him down tonight. So sure. We'll get him back on another week. And while I'm doing that, we have Becky Cash, representative up in the Zionsville area, coming on next week, Brad. So you get your
Becky is an enigma. She will vote on things like the right way, or ways that I'm like, oh yeah, thank you for thinking of your community. That was great. And then she'll be on like the other side of some things, and
you guys follow that new writer from the Indy Times, the opinion guy? He's young. He's got to be in like his 20s still.
Talk about Indy Star, Jacob.
Yeah, Jacob. He's got. I can't remember where he got it from, but he posted something last week, or maybe it was a couple weeks ago, about how like the plurality of Hoosiers think of themselves as independents, right? And like think of themselves as swing voters that kind of go back and forth on certain things. I don't know where he pulled that from. I think he linked. I didn't actually click the link, but that was in the way in which this individual you're talking about is an enigma. I think lots of people have, you might call them incoherent, but views all over the place where they're gonna vote on one thing, vote on another, and just kind of where the wind goes.
Yeah, well, and the thing is, when I was running for office, we get to see the voter rolls, and it's amazing how many independents they do not come through. If you could, let's say, if you were say a Republican that wanted to run, if you could win the independent vote, you would beat the Democrats in Marion County. But I think a lot of those independents go with the Democrat. So, but there is a pretty good amount of straight ticket voting, and I think some of those people would be interested.
Do you see the two contenders for that have announced themselves for the mayoral race?
I know Vop's one of them.
Vop's one of them. My neighbor's one of them. Hunley.
Oh yeah. Well, you know what? Interesting story.
Okay.
We used to do this little show called Do Something Indie, and we had Andrea on when she was a principal, just barely getting into the politics. So that was the Do Something Indie show. You can go back through the archives and see that show. And I talked to her at the Bates Hendricks Festival, not this year, but last year. And she told me then she was going to run for mayor. So I would not count her out. I don't think she's got a lot of money right now. And I don't know if Vop is the chosen one, so to speak, but Mears may jump in.
Witty's saying that she hasn't announced yet. I just saw some posts, I guess, about the.
Okay, well, I think that she really is, which, and I don't understand that.
This is just going up to the top. Him calling me a femme-coded 30-year-old dipshit, looking at his. Oh, sorry, I don't know if I'm supposed to swear.
We're past the kids.
Good God, clueless dick. It's pretty funny. Yeah. Witty actually blocked me on his Indie Reporter Twitter account because
he's on here now.
Yeah, because he's
on here now. So Witty, you better get to
remind him that he likes to post kind of homoerotic pornography about politicians on his personal account, and I would link that underneath his Indie Reporter, and then he blocked me. So it's pretty funny. I don't know.
Hey, Vinny, this dude, he's been kicked. He's had so many Twitter accounts. With that, speaking of how I met both of you guys, I met him on Twitter like probably 3 or 4 years ago, and man, he has toned down since. And I know maybe you had been following him.
That's hilarious.
And he would just he got us in trouble with Victoria Wilburn when because they accused him of posting pictures of her kids at school, which he didn't do, but they wanted to dox him. And so
there he is. He's back with the homoerotica. he loves talking about it, man. He cannot stop talking about cum and assholes. It's wild. It's like the only thing that can come out of his mouth. I don't know. I find it very funny. I find it very humorous. I love his posts. I wish he would get back to posting like that. He's way too corporate nowadays.
I try to tone him down a little bit for the show on Tuesdays.
No, you got to get him back to his roots, man.
Well, I'd let him save that for the Saturday show.
Vinny, are you like local to Indy? Is that how?
I live.
Is that your area?
Right next to downtown.
Okay, so how did you feel about redistricting then?
I mean,
because what would have been the effect for you?
Well, I mean, the redistricting effort would have, the whole goal was to slice up Marion County.
Oh yeah, you'd have been in 6. I believe you'd have been in either 6 or 5. I mean, the way they
I mean, I would have been in some county that included southeastern Indiana, probably because I'm on the east side, whatever. But I mean, I don't even know. I'm kind of right down the middle of downtown to the east.
Okay. Well,
so
you'd have been close
because you
I could have been in either.
Well, and you talked about like MAGA and how you feel like it's here to stay, and they're planning their revenge tour like now. They got Scott Pressler going to events with Todd Rokita and Micah Beckman.
Great hair. He's got great hair.
He does, doesn't he? The boots. I don't know. Like one doesn't take the attention away from the other. Yeah, I know. You got to look at the whole thing. That's
anyway. What was your question? Sorry for interrupting.
Well, no. So, do you think that they're going to be successful then in primarying whoever voted against redistricting?
Oh, that's years away. Right?
I mean, they're starting.
There's a couple of them.
No. I mean, not just Bray. I mean, like all of them. They are mad at everybody.
Yeah, I mean, how successful they'll be, I don't know. I mean, those guys that are in their communities that have been there for a while, building up their base of support, like, I don't think it's necessarily easy to come in and do the hoorah rah thing to get them out. So do I think they'll be successful? I think there's a lot of, these guys who just started this new group. What is it? Heritage Americans or Heritage Indiana. So
Yes.
This is a
damn thing.
Yeah, this is just like another, I would say another, MAGA adjacent, Trump adjacent, whatever you want to call it, not disparaging in that way, but like, that's just like part of the same ecosystem, right? Like, I think that they're going to try and they'll have some success in certain areas, but these senators or state senators have been around a while. So if they want to put up a fight, I think probably a lot of them will be successful. And it's many years down the road. I
feel like it's going to be years in the making. It's not like years down the road. It is going to be a continuous, every time there's a primary, there's going to be that question of, because they're going to have a memory about this too, of like, who are we seeking for revenge? And that's a long time to hold grudges. Like, what happens in the meantime if you want to, like, anything to pass?
Yeah. Well, as I covered the redistricting down in the Senate, the week that, that they had that, and what stuck out to me, and Vinny, you are spot on. These people are nailed down in their areas. They've been there for a while, but boy, they're old. I was just that was one of the big, like, wow, these people are really, really old. They've been here for 30 something years. So I think they're going to have to figure out a way to rebrand themselves a little bit in that. But at the same time, when you throw some money in there, which that's what I've heard, there's going to be some actual money behind this effort. I think some of them will change.
I think, the soul of the center of the party is going to be interesting to see unfold post Trump, right?
Yeah.
Is Vance going to be able to be the MAGA standard bearer? He seems to totally flip flop his beliefs every 4 years.
Yes.
So it's going to be difficult for me. It's going to be difficult. It's difficult for me to see him, to be honest, even win the nomination. I don't think he's got the juice. He might, he'll prove me wrong, maybe, but these battles that are going to happen post Trump are going, like, it's really
Braun is going to be involved
for me to foresee.
And I know that we all
which way
think it's funny at this point. But Braun sucks as a governor, but so did Pence, and Pence ended up becoming vice president. I really think that there's going to be such a vacuum of nonsense after Trump that Braun's just going to toss his name in.
It's amazing how much can change. Trump went from being basically having no impact on the Republican Party to being the center in 18 months, right? In 2016 to 2017,
one by one.
So in that 2015, 2016 run when he was running it was incredible, right? He was on fire in those debates. Even if you go back and watch them, I know like lots of people talk about this.
I'm still waiting on Hillary to be in jail though.
Yeah. But it was amazing to behold, I would say more like incredible, like wild. Like, he totally changed American politics forever in the span of a year, right? And just to say, like, that can happen again. It could happen in weird ways. Like 2016, also socialism had a big comeback with Bernie, crazy enough as it sounds, right?
Well, and I think that's what happened
for 100 years in America.
I think what happened in 2020 was that everybody was at home, and COVID press conferences were happening every day, and they were the worst campaign footage for Trump of all time. And I will die on that hill that 2020 was not like yay Biden. 2020 was no Trump. That was it.
I don't think people were super stoked about Biden. He was a walking corpse. But
yes,
Bernie couldn't.
I was watching an SNL from.
What does that say about Bernie?
Everybody still made fun of Biden for being old. Like, that's the funny thing too, is that I hear conservatives now like, oh well, they're not making fun of Trump the same way they nobody made fun of Biden. I'm like, no, they made fun of Biden a lot, especially at the end. Like, yeah,
he was
it was
great
reality.
material.
Like, what the hell are we all looking at? But
Yeah.
when it's happening now, it's like no. Like this is over the top. This is
Well, that's
too
just
far.
funny.
I
It's
mean,
like-
everybody's gonna cry foul. You know, I mean, it's just, it's the nature of things at this point. I mean,
I don't know. South Park putting an AI Trump wandering naked through the desert was probably the highlight of 2025. I think TV wise.
Yeah.
Tommy Ice has a good one about who the Democrat 2028 for the Dems is gonna be crazy. It's gonna be a wide open field, right?
Based on Trump's press conference today, he sounds afraid of Newsom. Like he brought up Gavin Newsom during a press conference that he called. Like he doesn't have to talk about anybody else. Why would you?
No free ads.
Yeah, but he talked about him,
that.
and he said he was like, "In the governor of California would be he would be a nightmare of a leader." But like he brought it up because you could tell. I mean, I don't know why he would bring it up unless he was just scared that.
Well, I mean, anytime a narcissist is attacked. Now, Brad's giving me a hard time because I'm not defending the Trump. So, Brad, I'm going to have to defend the Trump here, so you don't call me a skinwalker anymore. Because I know that Whitty he takes no prisoners. You know, he's one of those keep your friends close, your enemies closer type of guy. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, on the Trump thing, I mean, Trump was the outsider businessman that people have clamored for years. We want an outsider business guy like Ross Perot. Remember Ross Perot? He was an outsider business guy.
And he didn't appoint anybody who was an outsider.
No,
like all of the people that he appointed were Steve Mnuchin. Like in the first administration,
the first term, he had a lot of people that were in to get him. And this time, I think he's done a little better job with at least getting people that are loyal.
Well, it's not a carousel of people running in and out like Trump 1 was. Yeah, first time around was.
So, do you guys remember Ross Perot at all? You were like 2 years old.
Barely.
Okay, the sucking sound in your pockets. That's the taxes that they're taking out.
Dana Carvey was pulling off double duty on SNL at that point.
One little fact that you may not know is that's why independent candidates have a harder time getting on the ballot because of Ross Perot. A lot of states changed their rules to make it harder to get on the ballot as non-big party.
So that's not fair. That sounds like Micah Beckwith.
Was he the guy with the graphs? I'm not thinking of somebody else. Didn't he get on TV?
Yeah, he got on TV with the graphs.
He got on the graphs. Look at that.
Yeah, you guys were watching Sesame Street back then, so the graph spoke to you.
Honestly, look up Saturday Night Live. Like the Dana Carvey was Ross Perot and George Bush.
Oh yeah, he was hilarious. He did a great one.
And it was just but the Ross Perot bits were always fantastic. So
I'll check it out.
It's like the second sound in your pockets. That's the taxes coming out.
Did he end up getting a significant portion of the vote? Did he even make it to
he
how
did enough.
Turn out? I honestly don't know my history there.
It was Clinton, Bush, and
he made it to the general, and they had the debate, and he was a part of the national debate. So like they had a third party candidate, at least
choices. We don't need any choices.
I was 9 years old at the time, I think, but
you were watching.
Well, and the only reason, and Drew asked why I think that's like Micah. It just reminded me of like when Micah made the push for lieutenant governor, and now they're trying to like pass laws to
get rid of. That's how they work.
That is such bullshit because Micah found that loophole, and
they're trying to. Sorry, I haven't caught this. They're trying to pass laws it make it not done by delegates anymore.
Yeah, they're saying no delegates. It's all appointments, and it's like.
And like I'm not a pro Micah guy at all, but like he worked his ass off. He played the system exactly how he should have. And it's like, yeah,
that was a wild.
He won.
I remember that when he won. That was a wild night. I did send him a congrats tweet.
Yeah, me too.
I think subsequently he blocked me, but that's all right.
Who hasn't been blocked?
You need to have a pattern going. Yeah. Hold that thought, Brad. Hold that, because we got the cavalry coming in here. Let me bring in Lucy. Lucy, you're here to save me. These libs are beating the crap out of me. Even Whitty's beating me up on the chat. Oh, save me.
Whose ass do I have to beat? Get out the QB6. I have 10 kids. I'm tough.
Oh, wow.
I need that support right now. But glad to see you made it. I knew that you were driving, so we've actually filled the time in pretty good here with a lot of different discussions. I am getting beat up by the libs, but
so actually, I don't think
Vinny's
We're
not a
supposed to have a
left.
Yeah, we're
What's
supposed to have a Democratic Socialist here tonight, right?
Well, yeah, but he had
What is
I-
that?
I'm-
But
he was
I'm
protesting
your-
a church or something.
I'm your representative Dem Socialist. I think I'm in that lane. So me
Vinny,
and
do you-
Jesse, I think
Are
Are
fair.
you?
Debs.
So do you go by Vincenzo or Vinny?
You can call me Vinny.
Nice to meet you, Vinny. I'm plain
Nice
old
to meet
Lucy.
you.
I'm just curious. You say that you are representing
Here we
Democratic
go.
Socialism?
Yeah, I mean, I'd say roughly that.
Exactly what part of my efforts to earn money for my family to support them in future generations do you feel is your right to take from me?
Yeah, so I mean, I think in a regulated society, we're going to have taxes, and
Why?
basically
Taxation
everything.
is theft. Why do you think that you can use the
That took
government's
no
gun
time at all.
to take
That-
to take money out of my pocket?
Sure, right. Well, interesting enough, property is defined by the government, right? So property is nothing but
property
a
was
legal contract.
property is defined by God. God created all of this. The government
Okay,
didn't create
well.
it. The government is a gang
God's
writ
water.
large,
That's-
whose
Well-
whole job is to get together to take from people that produce and give to people that don't produce.
Yeah, well, so property by definition is a legal contract, right? Because what is property? It is something that if someone infringes upon it, whether it's your land or your phone or your clothes, is you basically can sick the government on them. It's a contract of violence.
Why would I need to sick the government on them to do my light work?
Well, I mean, that's how property is defined. I mean, it doesn't matter, why you would want to do it or not. That's just defined on what property is.
So you like that shirt you have on? Because I like it better than you do, and I think you should take it off and give it to me. And if you don't, then I'm going to get a gang of people together to take it from you.
That sounds
And
Well,
property, by the way,
probably
I'm
go
just
to
looking
jail,
at the
I
actual
would guess.
dictionary definition. Property is a thing or thing that belonged to someone, or it could be an
What does
attribute, quality, or
belong mean?
characteristics of something. So it's not property is not a legal contract. You can put your property into a legal contract. I could give you a contract to buy the shirt off of my back, but my property is something.
If I walk
own.
into a store and I pick up an apple and I walk out with it, has anything about the apple metaphysically changed? Are the atoms different? Has anything happened internally?
I will tell you that metaphysically or atomically, the position of that apple has changed in the universe. And unless you have given value or you have some sort of agreement for barter or some other exchange of value,
an agreement.
You have taken
sounds
it from
like
the
a legal.
person
Sounds a little bit like a legal contract,
and that is called theft. And if you believe in God, see, the problem with all of this is I'm going to take a big leap and say, I bet you're either an atheist or you don't believe in God. Do you believe in God?
Yeah. I'm a Catholic.
He says Catholic.
Yeah.
Oh. Wow. So you're part of the gang.
She's a recovering
I feel
Mormon.
like
So,
I feel like I got you to say that if you're not in an agreement, you're not in an agreement. The agreement that you mentioned there is an agreement to buy things, which is a legal contract. Right? It's an exchange of goods.
It's not a legal contract until an offer and an acceptance has been made. That is actually what a contract is. There has to be an offer and there has to be an acceptance. So if there is an offer because I'm running a retail store, then I have an implicit offer and it could be an explicit offer because I have a sign there that actually has, like the amount, but let's just call it an offer. I have my store. There is an offer for you as a member of the public. You are invited to come in and to do business with me, which means to make a fair value exchange. If instead you pick up the property that I have bought, the property that I have acquired lawfully, and you attempt to take off with that property unlawfully, then that is a crime. And if you're a Catholic, then I would expect you to recognize theft.
Lawful. You're using the same words I'm using.
Are we
change the definitions. Like any
talking about apples?
Definitions.
I'm not changing any definition. You're using the same words that I'm using. I'm saying
we have a different definition. Yeah, when I was a Mormon, I talked about Jesus. But you see, the Jesus of the Bible is Almighty God came down into the flesh in order to redeem his people by the sacrifice of his own blood on the cross. However, in Mormonism, Jesus is just your older spirit brother, who's spirit brother with Lucifer, who was democratically elected to be the savior of this world. So I'm very familiar with semantics.
So,
Do you believe in the
how
Ten
does this-
Commandments or not?
How does this fit into the socialism? What's the difference?
They shouldn't be in schools, Lucy.
What? Okay.
They should
what was
only be in the
socialism?
schools.
No, they should not be in schools. No. no.
If it's a Christian school, it should absolutely be in school.
Well, I don't care if it's in a yeah, great.
Hey, Vinny, did you go to Catholic school?
I went to Catholic school from 1st through 8th, and also high school, and then actually a little bit for my master's program. I went to Loyola University Chicago.
Okay, cool.
So
I just don't think there should be a law made about putting.
What's your undergrad?
I'm still confused with this socialism thing. So how does it differ between what Lucy said and what you said? All I heard was a lot of arguing about an apple.
Sure. I mean,
yeah.
So the way in which, you define, I would say, socialism is the old school definition, which I think is a little cumbersome, is the basically the workers' ownership of the means of production.
You're allowed to do that. You can buy stock in the company, and you can become
and that's
an owner of the
actually
company.
exactly what I think is the appropriate thing to do, right? So the appropriate thing to do, in my opinion, I'm kind of, I'd say, more squishy when it comes to this stuff. Not so much in the revolutionary bent. I'm more of just kind of.
We're not going to have a protest.
Yeah. So I mean, I enjoy what Norway does. Right. The government of Norway
is very capitalist.
Yeah.
Sell us Greenland. What the hell are they waiting
That's
for?
interesting.
Yeah. Why aren't you selling us Greenland, man?
Yeah, that's interesting.
I want Norway.
The government of Norway owns the majority of the wealth in the country. It owns the majority of the GDP.
They got like
which
5
is
million.
Interesting. So I don't know if the government's owning the majority of the wealth of the country by means of, they basically own and operate SEOs, which are sovereign-owned enterprises, which is the government. It's kind of like the post office, but imagine it for the oil industry, telecom, grocery stores, right? The government owns those industries. If that's capitalism, cool. I'm fine with it. You know what I mean? They own 60 to 70% of all the assets, of all the quote unquote wealth of the country.
Now, theoretically, do they hold those assets in trust for the citizens? Are they paying dividends?
They have a couple really interesting things. And actually, Trump is put out right when he was elected, I don't know where it's gone since then, but he put out a notice about an investigation of a sovereign wealth fund, right? Sovereign wealth fund is,
He already did that with NVIDIA.
Yeah. He's buying stuff in NVIDIA.
I disagree.
I love it.
I disagree.
Okay.
Yeah.
But either way, socialism, right? In that sense, right? Just looking at Norway, is the people, the government, whatever you want to call it, is they own the majority of the capital, the assets. In my opinion, that's as close to socialism as you're going to get. And just inching your way there is fine. Anyway.
I'm sorry. Anytime that somebody says that they want to, to take food out of the mouths of my children, or that they think that they somehow have a claim on my labor or on the capital, which is the accumulation and savings of my labor, I'm going to have a real problem with that. But if you're feeling froggy, or your friends are feeling froggy, come down my lane, and you're going to find out about the Second Amendment. I can't speak more clearly than that. That's what the Second Amendment is here for, so that when roving gangs, whether they call themselves government or mafia, attempt to liberate you from your belongings, whether those be intangibles such as your freedom
or apples.
Yeah,
liberate you.
I have apples.
I'm sorry.
I mean, you should just not pay your taxes then.
Please elaborate on that one, though.
I mean, I don't know if you're going to threaten me or just random.
No, I'm just inviting anyone who feels like they have a claim upon my labor to come try and take it.
It's kind of you still give your money away to the government in taxes, right?
I mean, first of all, I don't give anything to the government. I have a gun held to my head that says that you will either give this or there will be serious consequences.
But I thought you just said that if anyone wanted to come and take your assets, that you'd shoot them. But now you're saying that you do give it away. All right, I'm just trying to understand.
I did not in any way say give. And in a practical sense, and I have to be very practical about this because my youngest is 12. Is it possible for me to stand up? I mean, we're looking at.
Well, you just said, what I'm saying is you just said that you would, if people wanted, if roving gangs, i.e. the government, were going to wanted to come take your stuff, you would. but then
if
you
it
say,
came down,
but
yes,
then now you're saying
absolutely.
you're saying you don't.
Okay, so let's be very clear, Vinny.
Yes.
So that you know we're not making any suppositions here. You're not trying to put any words in my mouth. Okay.
Exactly right.
There may come a time when somebody tries to come in and do that, and yes, I will defend myself and my property.
Well, they're doing
now
it right now.
Stop.
Okay.
I'm not done.
Okay.
Right now, because of the tax code and the way that it was written for a very rich crony, what I call the parasite class. We don't call them elites around here. They're the parasite class. Let's be clear. You and I could probably agree on that they're the parasite class. I'm able to file paperwork. And because I'm a business owner and I follow all the laws that have been written, the statutes that have been written, it is convenient for me to align myself with those statutes where it does not come up against my my moral imperatives, and I don't end up paying any taxes. I mean, the property taxes for sure. I don't know a way to get out of that yet. I've actually been investigating putting a graveyard, a cemetery, on my property.
Church,
but
the Church of Lucy.
Well, you know, we just had that. I'm actually on the zoning commission for my county. So this is something that we've actually had some discussions over. This last year, they tried to say that you could not have a house of worship on your property, but then they failed to define what a house of worship is. So, you know, that's all another issue. But I understand you putting up the challenge of there, Lucy, would you really take up arms against your oppressors? Yes, I absolutely will. That time has not come yet.
So I want to find, get to this socialism thing a little bit more. My biggest, I guess, complaint or issue I have with socialism is human nature. It's like, and my joke is when y'all win this thing and get socialism in there, that's the last day I work. You guys are going to be bringing me my corn on the cob with the hot butter on it. I'm going to be sitting back under the shade tree with my lemonade.
One thing that's a little bit strange is, I mean, at least in places like, in the Nordics where they have, at least as recognized, pretty good social safety nets, which I think is what we're calling, socialism here. They have higher labor force participation than us.
Well, that's probably because they want to eat.
Norway they have more social services. They got crazy unemployment benefits. I mean, like a year plus of unemployment. They have a year.
What's our illegal immigration rate though? Because that's killing us.
True.
Well, they only have 5 million in population.
I'm kidding. I'm sorry. I was just saying
it's a totally different thing than the 355 million.
But anyway, they have. Well, Norway has about an equal size per capita economy as us. Obviously, it's different, right? But their GDP.
It's difficult when you scale up a business. Have you ever taken a business from 100,000 to say 5 million? Have you ever gotten those problems at scale?
Have you ever had a business partner? I couldn't even get along with one business partner, and that's what socialism is. You're basically a partner with everybody.
The only business partner I had that wasn't my husband, we had to sue each other, and I won.
That's my biggest thing. Human nature. It's like anything. Capitalism, socialism.
I mean, it's just weird. If human nature was such an issue, it's just strange that it works in some places. Or at least I'm interested in. Like, I'm not saying this kind of, totem of like quote unquote socialism. I'm talking about the things I'm interested in, right? Which is like
Vinny,
the Norway, the Nordics, all that kind of stuff. Like, it seems to work over there. They have more labor force participation. They have more social services. Like, seems all right.
Yeah, I'd like that you brought your receipts, and I'm sure Lucy's got some too.
Well, no, I'm gonna entertain this. This. Tell me, Vinny, if you could wave a magic wand, how would you make America in your image? Like, what is it that you think is so bad about? Because believe me, I hate the government. I hate the fact it's not constitutional. Like, you're not going to find me saying anything nice about them. So we probably have some things we're aligned on. What would you change first, and how would you fund it?
Oh, what would I change? I mean, probably first and foremost, I would, really anything to move in the direction of collecting assets into a sovereign wealth fund. Again, like, I'm more of a technocratic guy, right? Like I'm not into like the whole like, you know, revolution or changing, like, you know, overthrowing the government or anything like that. I would just in kind of a lame way inch towards the things that I want. I'd probably try to, well, one, probably for America, the simplest thing we could do to save a ton of money would be to simplify our health insurance. So moving more towards because we waste roughly, obviously it's rough estimates, we waste about $500 billion a year on management expenses, right?
Yeah, Lucy's into that business.
Yeah, I
sell.
Yeah. I mean, at least, you know, and it's a big morass of like lots of stuff. It's not like one single thing, but we have a really, really complicated, many different types of, you know.
Why do you think that is, Vinny? Why do you think there's so much waste in healthcare? I have my own musings, which I'll share with you, but why do you think there's so much waste?
Well, I mean, I think in part, at least a lot again, only speaking specifically about the insurance part of it, we have a, you know, very, I would say, complex web of payer networks, insurance broker middlemen, insurance systems that cause a lot of basically shuffling of paperwork, as I like to think about it, right? There's just a lot of things, a lot of work being done that isn't very productive, in my view. You look, just for example, you look at Medicare, right? Whatever, one of the more popular American institutions, it has roughly a 2% administration, like the fee, basically, like that's the cost. If you look at normal insurance, it's somewhere between 11 and 15.
Do you know why it's between 11 and? Do you know why it's between 11 and 15?
Well,
why it maxes out at 15?
Probably a lot of. I mean, I would, in my opinion,
because the government got involved, and the government said that the maximum amount of profit that they're allowed to make is like 15%. I think it was 11% before Obama, and then he took it to 15. But the real answer is that we have incentives for people to be sick. If people were healthy, if there were no seed oils, high fructose corn syrup, glyphosate, 2,4-D.
But I love that stuff.
Pharmaceuticals.
It's fun to be sick, though, Lucy. Like,
you know, if everybody, I'm not going to say everybody has to do what I do, but Vinny, let me give you an example, because I'm someone that just very, very seldom uses the healthcare system. Most of my children were born with midwives and at home. All of my grandkids have been born at home, which means we had to pay for those things ourselves. When I was worried about my blood sugar, and my friend said, "Oh, you ought to try metformin because it'll keep your blood sugar down." What did I do? I went to the internet, because the internet is the repository of all information, and I used Google, which is, you know, very useful. And I said, "What herb does metformin come from?" Because I know that the incentive of a pharmaceutical company is to create a customer for life. It's not to heal you. And I also know from intellectual property laws that they have to patent a particular molecule. They can't patent, you know, life, what metformin comes from. I found out it was berberine. So I started taking berberine, and my blood sugars went from 170 down to 80. So I was able to do that for myself. Now, because I didn't have health insurance, I called the pharmacy and said, "Hey, what would it cost me to get metformin?" And the answer was $720 per month. But the answer for berberine was $29.97 on Amazon. Jesus. And I now have plants in my yard, because I sell medicinal, edible, and culinary plants, and I teach people to grow their own food and to make medicine out of them. That's my business. So I would like to be part of the solution rather than being part of the problem. And if people had healthier food, then the insurance companies would not be able to justify charging as much as they can. They justify charging as much as they can because they're betting that you're going to see a medical bill as a risky thing. And so you're buying insurance to hedge against that risk. But what if the risk was, remember, how old are you, Vinny?
I'm 30.
Okay.
And I have a crying baby, and my hour is almost up. So I have about 60 more seconds.
Thank you for
saying. Thank you.
Sorry.
But hey, seriously, one last thing: never, ever vaccinate your baby. And I'm happy to talk with you about this afterwards, because I can show you the whole pathology and the legal reasons behind them keeping your baby sick. Your baby has a target.
Well, I'm glad that Lucy came on and was able to hold Vinny's feet to the coals for Whitty. Absolutely. Because he is you're a lot of buddy. We'll have you back on, because whenever we have a show with Tiffanie can't make it, you know, I'll give you calls. But I appreciate you coming on.
And, thank you so much for having me, Lucy.
We're going to have a little panel here.
Brad as well.
All right, man. Hey, thanks for
Awesome.
coming on. See you.
Yep. Good night. Have a good one.
All right. Let's see what do we got here. Wow, it was hey Brad, it was like a love fest till Lucy got in here, wasn't it?
I really appreciate Lucy just in all of her glory coming in, and
I'm not trying to be mean, but
No,
sometimes
it was
you're
perfect.
not.
I mean, it was perfect. It just
I like about 5 minutes into that, I was like, did anybody warn Vinny about
I did.
like
I
dealing with Lucy? Not dealing with Lucy, but like, you
it's
know,
dealing with Lucy.
accepting.
You got to deal with Lucy.
I mean, you do, but like, she's not asking unheard of questions.
No, but you better
You
come
know?
ready to answer.
Damn right, you
be able
better
to
come ready to answer. Yeah.
I mean, I remember when she did
That's
that
the
to Todd
Mouthwash
Young
promise.
and Donnelly and them. They weren't
Yeah.
ready for her at all, and
They
she
were not.
friggin' steamrolled them. And then after that, Lucy was the
Wait, Lucy, like, wait, is that the time that you debated Todd Young?
Yep.
Is it,
Yep.
okay.
And
Did
got
he
the
make-
voter by.
Did he make you proud
was a bye.
about the Venezuela vote?
No, this was way before that. This was in like 2016. Yeah.
Oh no,
It's been 10 years.
I was just asking, like, if he made you proud, like.
No,
way that
I
he-
see him as I'll tell you what, there's good and bad things about everybody. And one thing I really admire about Todd Young is his advocacy work centered around adoption. I think he really genuinely has a heart for babies. Scott's going to be kids himself, so he probably comes about that honestly. And he's done so much work with adoption and doing free adoptions for people. So I really want to give him his props. But the problem is, when all you have is a hammer, everything looks like a nail. And he was in the Marine Corps, and so the culture that he comes from is, being a bully.
Dorn calls her micro marine.
We just need to build more ships. That's what we need. More ships.
That's Lucy's husband. Dorn's in the house.
Hey, did he say ban Lucy from the show yet?
At least once.
No, actually, I saw a ban socialism.
This is it. Roll on your Lucy. He's got your back. No, he hadn't banned you from the show yet. It doesn't look like, but yeah, it's funny.
It makes total sense. Vinny's obviously a really nice guy, and he's got a new baby, and he's 30 years old. So he just doesn't have. There's a lot of perspective. I mean, I'm sure that I ran for libertarian office in my 20s, so no, I wouldn't have been spouting that kind of nonsense when I was his age. But I certainly didn't have the depth of knowledge. I mean, look how smart you are, John, because of your age, and me too. I mean, we just have so much experience.
But like, I mean, 30 doesn't even look like an age where I remember being either feeling like I was old or feeling like I was young. Like that's, you're trapped in that age of just you're both.
Dorn will back me up on this. When I got to be 30, I finally felt like my clothes fit, because the way that you see me now is very much the way that I was when I was a teenager. I was, thank you, Jennifer. When I was a teenager, I was trying to tell my little classmates about, end of the Fed. I was talking with my government and econ teachers, and my 7th grade social studies teacher was a libertarian. And so I had the pleasure of talking to him when I was in my 40s and letting him know that Mr. McLish, he just had a tremendous influence on me. I was always this way. I was always old. And so when I hit 30, I finally felt like, yeah, this is about where I am. Because when I was 17, I acted 30.
Yeah, well, it's the age thing. It's one of those things that it just creeps up on you. It's like I'm just sitting here. I'm a boomer, and Whitty likes to make fun of boomers, and frankly, I want to go get some of these boomers' cards back from them. They're not boomers anymore because some of the stupid things, and old white dudes too. Quit being stupid. You're giving us a bad name. I'm trying to do some stuff here, and everybody just puts you in the old white man boomer closet thing and says, go away. Old man, you go yell at the clouds. So, but yeah, it is interesting watching. We talk about socialism, and like I said, it's a great concept to add people. And the problem is, I mean, if you've ever had a business partner, you've ever had to sign the front of checks, you've ever had to do anything like that, people are just hard to get along with. They'll be complaining about so-and-so's doing more than so-and-so, and I'm not doing that. And pretty soon nobody does anything. It's like, hey, Lucy, what's that book, Animal Farm?
Yeah, George Orwell.
Yeah.
Is that
Hey,
sort of
what are you
the,
asking me? Ask the librarian. All animals are
He's not a
equal. Some
librarian
animals are more
anymore.
equal
Yeah,
than
except
others.
some were more equal than others.
Yeah.
that's it. Yeah. Well, in the Constitution it says everyone's created equal. And I'm like, I said we have equal rights, but I don't think we're created equal. But is that what that means? That we're
Equal does not mean the same. You're created equal in the eyes of God and the law, that you're a person that has value. Certainly you have potential.
But we're not the same. Like, you're not 6'3" and 202 like me, right? So we're not equal in that way.
Right.
So, okay. I just want to
And see, I think that speaks to something else that's interesting. A lot of people don't think about equity versus being equal. So a lot of people, when they say they want everybody to be equal, what they're really saying is they want equity. And I'll give you an example.
Well, DEI alert. Sorry.
Yeah, equally miserable. It does equal socialism. So in some areas, political candidates are actually, it's called an apple box law. Don't know if you've ever heard of this.
I've heard of that, but I don't know what it is.
Yeah. So that is, it's well known that the taller the candidate, the better the chance they have of winning. Also, being attractive helps too. So
that's why I couldn't win. I'm tall. And they say blue eyes too, for some reason.
Yes.
Tall and blue eyes.
So and blondes in white dresses always win beauty pageants. And when I won Miss Indianapolis Teen in 1989, I was a platinum double process bleached blonde, like Marilyn Monroe color, and I wore a white dress, which I made myself because I have those skills. Anywho, apple boxes. And so there will actually be boxes or risers that candidates will stand on, so that to the audience, they all appear to be the same height. So my very leftist liberal friend, Nick, I think I can still call him my friend, even though we get into it a lot because he's a leftist. There are leftist libertarians. He was very tall. So running for mayor of Phoenix, he should have had a distinct advantage, except for the fact of the apple box laws. So they gave risers to his two opponents so that they appeared to be of equal height.
Well, they should, if they win, they should make them carry the apple box around everywhere they go. And anytime they talk, they have to stand on it. Or they should make them wear drywall stilts to be that height.
Or they could just buy a pair of Gene Simmons old shoes at auction.
Oh, those are cool. I used to have those bell bottoms. And my first concert was Kiss in 1976. Oh my gosh. I just told my age, which is sad. Okay. Well, Lucy, we stayed on a little late because you couldn't get on here early enough, and it was going so well with, we were just going right along. Witty's making fun of me for, not letting them go. And you came in and saved the day.
I have little patience for people who sit around thinking about how they can take what I have earned.
Yeah, that was made very clear. So, but
you cannot leave a gray area for these people, and you can't play nice. You must set down what the rules are, and the rules are thou shalt not steal. I can't give.
Wait, where's that from?
The 10 Commandments.
Oh,
but you know what? There's also a lot of people, a lot of my friends who are atheists will argue that they don't need the 10 Commandments because there are inherent moral laws that just exist, right? Like it's inherently wrong to take something that doesn't belong to you. It's inherently wrong to hurt another person without cause. So self-defense versus, murder, that sort of thing.
Yeah, well,
standard ground laws. I mean, if a vehicle is driving at me, I'm gonna unload because it's driving at me. That's
we don't have any more time to go into that, Brad, but we could do it next week. We got Becky Cash coming on. I'm trying to get out.
That'll be fun.
Yeah, she's got some interesting bills, and I think Brad even can tolerate her. But we'll have Vinny back on, and Vinny was actually Lucy. Vinny was actually our panelist tonight, but Jesse Brown had some family issues that he had to cancel. Okay. So, but it worked out good. He ended up being the guest. We went from guest panelist to guest, but it was quite entertaining. And that's the thing. If you have a theory and you can't explain it or you can't sell it, it's just like the Republicans here in Indiana on their property tax thing. They did cut into it a little bit, but they did a horrible job explaining it. And now everybody's crying about, these places don't have their funding because the government. So they did cut it. but everybody thinks they did nothing for property tax, which they did a little bit, but they did.
I thought it was.
explaining
Correct me if I'm wrong, because you pay attention to this stuff. I thought it was very, the what one hand giveth, the other hand taketh away.
Yeah, it was a little bit of that.
So
Shells,
it seems,
shell game.
yeah, shell game is a good one. If I remember correctly, Braun's basically giving people $300 a year as an abatement. It's $25 a month, not even $1 a day. I mean, my goodness, that's ridiculous. But didn't he also either eliminate or limit or reduce the homestead credit?
I don't know if that's part of it, but a lot of it was funding based, like for your local funding is where I think they tried to curb that spending. But I didn't notice any difference on mine as far as it might have gone up. So I have to plead the fifth on that part of it. But all I know is what they did was made no one happy. So you have these local governments trying to fund with less money, but yet on our end, we don't see less property taxes. So what kind of shell game is that?
It is definitely a shell game because it says that he was going to introduce a new 10% homestead credit capped at $300. And then it goes down farther in the AI summary to say some existing deductions like the standard homestead deduction are being phased out or converted into new credits.
Listen, the new Bears stadium is going to fix all this.
Yeah, it's going to fix it all. We'll start the lottery. The lottery will have free education and your license plates paid for. I'm paying more for my friggin' license plates in my schools than I ever have. What happened to the lottery money? The $1 billion we get from gambling, from the horse racing, from the lottery. It's $1 billion in taxes every year. What the what? How much do they need? I'm starting to sound like a socialist. Sorry. Wow, that made everybody get quiet.
I don't know if this is true because I saw it on the internet, but allegedly the person that just won Hammond Bears, that's awesome.
Gary Bears.
That sounds Bears. That'd be like Care Bears.
We call them the gummy bears.
Yeah.
It's a sticky comment.
Allegedly, the person that just won the $2.04 billion is only going to take home $628 million. And allegedly what I was told. Well, no, now think about this. Because it's dishonest. Because it's dishonest. Because 75% reduction in the amount that you thought you were going to win. And allegedly, and I don't even know if this is true, so I'm just gossiping, but allegedly the lottery said that they needed 50% of that $2 billion for administration. And then the other 38% was, taxes like you would normally get on your lottery. So I don't know if that's true.
They want to pay you out. They want to pay you out over the time period. The moral of the story is don't play the lottery.
I'm done. I used to spend $2 or $3.
I used to buy 1 or 2 tickets when it got up to 85 billion. Like I have no chance of winning this ever.
See, I love scratchers. They're fun.
Yeah, it keeps you busy. Like crayons too, but don't eat them. Yeah. So I'll give you one quick lottery story back in the day before Indiana had a lottery. This was back in 1983. Makes it sound older like that, like last century. I wanted to go to spring break and I needed some money. So my dad was playing the Michigan lottery. He wins $100 in the Michigan lottery and gave it to me. My mom gave me another $20. I went to spring break, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, all the fun stuff, $120. 5 guys in a Volkswagen, 1983. Try to do that these days, Brad. You couldn't even get to Louisville on $120.
Yeah.
So there you go. That's my lottery story. So I can't be hating the lottery too much. And I think in college, I did date the daughter of the very first lottery director, Gallagher. I think his name was Gallagher. But anyway, that's who's your lottery trivia. But I still have to pay a ton for my license plate, Brad. It's all your fault. And then
why are we paying license? Okay, so here's
Donald Rainwater was going to go there.
It's something that Donald Rainwater brought up actually, which is how much is the administration fee once you register the vehicle? As long as you own that vehicle, nothing is changing. So you're in the database, right? So the database doesn't go away. Your entry into that database doesn't go away. Simply by the fact that January 31st hit or June 30th, if you got like a G name or something.
Yep.
So it's just another way to siphon your life force away. Think about it.
Don't get me started on
average-
the business entity thing. Why do I have to pay $32 and another $2 for a convenience fee and another $1 for the online? And then I got I just got another $1 charged to me for the convenience of me giving them money to keep my business. They know where I am. I got freaking pay them a bunch of payroll taxes every week.
Because that's how we've always done it, John.
Yes, I know.
Have you guys watched the movie In Time yet with Justin Timberlake? This is like serious homework for everybody watching. If you have not seen the movie In Time, you must watch it immediately.
I think I might have watched it, but I'm so old now I can't even remember anything.
It is the best allegory for trading time for money. Like you go to work and you make $20, right? And that gives you a certain amount of life. Like you can pay, 3 hours of your rent with that $20. And
there's some depressing ass scenes though, and it is a great movie. It's just
I think I'll go.
I don't want to see depressing. I want to see something fun and exciting, like the IU game last night, which was hard to watch.
Yeah.
Oh, that was insane. Yeah,
it was wild. But anyway, the good guys won. That's all that matters. What I was thinking about
the Trump National Championship trophy.
No, that just ADHD my mind out of there. Talking about your money and your time and all that. Oh, I was thinking about firemen. You think about somebody that's a fireman, they're on 3 whole days, they're at the firehouse, and most of the time there's not a fire. So, but they're basically just giving their time in case that emergency comes. And police are somewhat that, but anybody that's like an emergency responder, a lot of times they're down. It compared like concrete work, go like crazy to prep for the concrete. Then the concrete comes, you pour it, then you got to wait till it gets ready to finish, and then you got to finish it. So it's like a hurry up and wait thing. So anyway, that's
hurry up and wait. Yeah.
It is a hurry up and wait. Love me some concrete. 3 guarantees. It'll turn gray, it'll crack, and we'll cash your check. So there you go. There's your 3 guarantees for concrete work. So all right, kids, that was good. We got Becky Cash on next week, so we'll have Tiffanie back, and hopefully I'll see your lovely faces next Tuesday. And we'll go at it again. And Lucy, did you send me something in the things that
I actually sent you. It was a legit source. It was Forbes.com that explained
all your stuff's legit.
That explained that, obviously the 30-year, had he taken the annuity over 30 years, that's where you get the full $2 billion. Otherwise, they give you $997 million, a little less than half. So the person that told me that was administrative fees obviously didn't understand what an annuity is and how you buy an annuity with cash and then it pays out over time. And so then that $628 million was after the federal taxes.
Yeah, well, it's like I said, who's going to complain when they win $355 million, even though it should have been $1 billion? I mean, what are you going to give it back? Yeah. Well, you could take the payout.
I would cash out and do like a Scrooge McDuck.
You would buy fish
bills or something.
You would
buy
that band.
I don't know how you guys would be like, no, that. Yeah.
You know what I would buy? I would buy a residence somewhere outside the U.S.
Yeah, I think if Brad won have you ever seen that Brewster's Millions with?
Yes.
Yeah, that's Brad. Brad is right there. That's what Brad he'd be like.
Yeah.
Oh man, how am I broke already? It's next week. I spent $355 million in a week.
I think about that movie too much. I think
it's a good one.
So no, it's like I could do that. I could pull that off.
All right. Well, we made it through another show. I think we're really officially to our 5 years of shows. 260. I think we're 260 shows. So we're right around that milestone.
Congratulations, John.
That's awesome. We still got him, and we got the Brad show. You guys got to catch the Brad. And Brad, let's get together. I'll show you a couple tricks now that you got your feet wet a little bit with it, and I'll get your sound on in your clips. Show you how to run that. Sweet. And then Lucy, you're the only one that's not going to have a show. We got Whitty, we got Brad, we got the Lucy herbs and spices.
I am tracking down and doing so much research on the fraud that's in my county that goes all the way up to what I believe is a fraud. So I'm going to say alleged fraud. In my opinion,
some of us have been sued on this show.
Well, I mean, get ICE out there.
In my opinion,
what they're searching for in Minneapolis is fraudsters. So
yeah, we'll get.
I went. This is so funny. I went took money out of my bank today at the bank, like at the ATM. And my 3 language choices, I kid you not, I was going to take a picture of it, then people would know where my bank is. English, Somali, Spanish.
Really? Where you are?
Yes. Yes.
Those, I mean,
that was in Greenwood. In
I
Greenwood.
can't believe that we've been suckered by the Somalis. Do they not know that they're pirates? I mean,
No,
it's like
well,
they should have seen
exactly.
when
They are
came in here
culturally.
that they had a patch on their eye and wooden peg legs, and they should have been able to easily pick them out.
Apparently, they're the only ones with money, so that's why they get their own language on the ATM.
Yeah.
I mean, it could have been French,
Hey,
It's
there's
because of
like
all the fraud,
57
yes.
different languages in Wayne Township. So hey,
57, really? That's awesome.
yeah, that doesn't sound right, but that's what I saw, that they were bragging about it, that they had that many languages at the school. So anyway, we are done.
Bye.
We're done, and we're gonna have some fun next week. Let me get to the right thing here. I'm just gonna do the quick ending. How's that? And I'll see you guys in a second, so Brad can do the Irish goodbye. Hey, everybody, have a great week. We'll see you next Tuesday. We'll have Becky Cash on, so make sure you get on, and then catch Witty Reviews at 8, and then the Brad Sowinski Show. It's actually called The Rinse. Hold on before we go. Why did you explain The Rinse, the name?
I kept thinking about we do Mouthwash, and like there were always times when I
Okay.
wanted to discuss more of what we were talking about, and so I'm like, all right, well, let's just do like a rinse off, like, and I didn't want it to be like a whole hour and a half, but like I feel like the one with Bilberry just kept going. So
But hey,
and
it's just like tonight. We're doing,
and
we're back to the good old days almost.
It's a fun time. Like I just like
it all comes out in the wash.
Yeah. Well,
exactly. Like that's kind of how
we do the mouthwash, you do the rinse, and Lucy does the repeat.
Yeah, there you go.
So there we go. This is all coming together. So all right, now I'm ready to push the button. And then, hey, Dorn, what's happening, Dorn? A rare appearance by the Dorn. So you got Lucy, you muted it. Darn. All right, everybody.
Pirates got to hang together.
The pirates got to hang
the devil
together.
on my shoulder. Yeah, sit down, Henry, so I can make it look like you're the devil on my shoulder.
All right. I'll see you, John Belushi.